listening to LSU Daily with Matt Musso, your home for all things LSU sports.
Off and running here on another edition of LSU Daily. Welcome in. Glad to have you with me. Thank you for being here as well. Boy, the portal never really stops. We have so much to get into once again here today on Tuesday's show. There's 3 highly touted prospects set for visits out of the portal coming to LSU here in the next few days throughout the rest of this week. A couple more LSU Tigers jumped into the transfer portal. Some of them who just really had their career derailed by injuries. We'll give you a brief thumbnail on that and kind of just get you updated on a few more targets and potential targets for LSU as the portal season continues to roll along. As we said, it never really stops. So this will be a very, very heavy transfer portal show. In fact, that's going to be the entire show here today. So buckle up. Subscribe, share if you have not already. You can follow me on social media at Musso Matthew on Twitter X. Find me on Facebook, on Instagram as well at Matthew Musso 1 if you so choose. All of that is greatly appreciated. All right, let's dive right into it. We'll start with the departures from yesterday. Nathan Dibert was the first LSU player yesterday on Monday to enter the transfer portal. A place kicker. You'll remember him as LSU's kickoff specialist, but then he had knee surgery, after the bowl game, in the ReliaQuest Bowl, and it kind of kept him out. He worked hard to get back, but ultimately you also saw the emergence of Aaron Burrell this season, a true freshman who was absolutely nails on kickoffs and looks to actually have a chance to be LSU's kicker, just place kicker of the future in general on field goals and whatnot. So we'll see how that goes. You wish Nathan Dibert obviously the best. He was awesome in his early time at LSU as well with the kickoff specialist duties, but the injury kind of just set him back. J.K. Johnson, another cornerback. So this is the third cornerback for LSU that has entered the transfer portal here in this cycle. Again, you like what you have coming in, but LSU needs to grab a body there at cornerback. The name that we continue to watch is Jakeem Jackson out of Florida. Highly ranked transfer. Again, started the first 2 games of the season for Florida in 2024. Then an injury cost him the rest of the year. The connection, he was recruited and committed to Florida under Corey Raymond, who, of course, has since returned to LSU. But again, J.K. Johnson, a guy for LSU, injuries just derailed. I mean, he transferred in from Ohio State a couple years back, was injured before his first season at LSU. It kept him out. I believe it was in spring that he was hurt, if memory serves me correct. Forgive me, I don't have that right in front of me right now. And then it was just a long road back. He did see action in 10 games this season, 3 tackles, and that is really the stat line. And those are the only 10 games that he played at LSU, so he will seek greener pastures, or I should say a new opportunity. And then defensive tackle, Demyron Johnson. You might remember this from last week, was reported to have entered the transfer portal by Matt Zenitz. Wilson Alexander confirmed the report of the Advocate, and then Demyron Johnson reached out to the Advocate and said, hey, I'm not in the transfer portal. So they corrected their report, and then Monday, pretty much as expected, entered the transfer portal. I say as expected because Matt Zenitz, who he talked to, Wilson Alexander, who he talked to confirm that news, the news wasn't made up. Like, that was going to be the plan. I think Demyron Johnson just wanted to break it on his own time. Okay, do what you need to do, young man. He didn't play at LSU this year as a freshman, as a true freshman, a 3-star out of Westgate. Will seek a new opportunity. He was a top 10 player in Louisiana in the class of 2024, but will finish his career not in the purple and gold. That brings LSU's total portal entries to 13 as we stand here at this time of the recording. Now, on to what I think is more intriguing than anything is who LSU is targeting, who LSU is bringing in for visits, who LSU has offers out to. And we're going to start at the edge position because it is a fast and furious day yesterday and even Monday, I should say, and even early on Tuesday with LSU and the edge position. Just to recap, Edge is a really pivotal need for LSU right now. Braden Swinson, Savion Jones, both out of eligibility and gone. Deshaun Womack into the portal. You are extremely, extremely thin. Kalaj Cobbins still on the team. They were high on him, but he didn't. I mean, he's a redshirt guy in 24. Same for a guy like C.J. Jackson. And, I mean, you brought in just Damian Shanklin as an edge in the class of 25. That is a huge position of need for LSU. And early in this portal cycle, they're acting like it. You can tell. Will Heldt, an edge rusher from Purdue, is one of the guys expected to be on campus for a visit here in the coming days with LSU. A top 30 portal prospect per 247, and has had a really nice career so far at Purdue. He comes in as a true sophomore, so 2 years of eligibility left. If you look at the career for Will Heldt, he played in all 12 games as a freshman, and then again played in all 12 games as a sophomore. Total in his career, 24 games played, 45 tackles, 11 TFLs, 5 sacks. All 5 of those sacks came in his sophomore campaign this season. He is a very coveted prospect and will be on campus with LSU in the coming days. 6'6", 265. That is Will Heldt. And look, you can get excited about Purdue edge rushers. I mean, you saw Nick Scorton transfer down to Texas A&M and have a phenomenal season. He's set up to be a first-round draft pick come April. I get it. Not all players are created equal. I'm not telling you that Will Heldt is Nick Scorton. I'm not even telling you that LSU is going to get the signature and the commitment from Will Heldt, but that is a big-time prospect that they are getting on campus from a Power 4 program that has been extremely productive and has a couple of years of eligibility remaining, so keep an eye on the name Will Heldt. Continuing with edge rusher, that brings us to Cameron Olds. Cameron Olds is a junior out of Kent State. Now, Kent State was absolutely horrible this year. They did not win a football game. However, Cameron Olds was really, really good. Junior, as I said, out of Kent State, 6'4", 240, started his career at Buffalo and then transferred to the Golden Flashes. When you look at his season just at Kent State, played in all 12 games for the Golden Flashes, 6 sacks on the season, 42 total tackles. He had an interception, pass breakups. He was all over the field. On Monday, he did garner an official offer from LSU. So Cameron Olds of Kent State has officially been offered by the Tigers. It's not his only power offer. Also has offers from Kentucky, Mississippi State, Georgia Tech, Virginia, among others. He's bursting onto the scene pretty fast, pretty furious, is a guy like Cameron Olds. That's somebody to absolutely keep an eye on, as, again, he has the official offer for LSU. So Will Heldt from Purdue visiting LSU in the coming days. Cameron Olds from Kent State has an official offer from Brian Kelly and the Tigers. The other name to keep an eye on, and this broke early on Tuesday morning, out of Missouri, Williams Nwaneri, freshman defensive end from Missouri, announced he's entering the transfer portal. 6'7", 255, only played in 4 games this season. Will redshirt, has 4 years of eligibility remaining. Williams Nwaneri was awesome as a high school player. 5-star consensus, so 5-star plus by every recruiting service. Number 1 prospect out of the state of Missouri. Top edge rusher in the country by all recruiting platforms. A top 5 prospect overall in the country by On3, by Rivals. We told you also by ESPN. He was awesome. And the kicker is he was recruited to Missouri and signed under Blake Baker and Kevin Peoples, both who are now at LSU. Kevin Peoples, mind you, would have been his position coach at Missouri as the guy coaching edge rushers and would be at LSU as well. Look, there are certainly more proven commodities out there at edge rusher. We just talked about a couple of them in Will Heldt in Cameron Olds. There are more proven options at edge rusher. But you look at a guy like Williams Nwaneri, and that's a dude who is as highly touted as they come. The 4 games that he played in Mizzou, he was productive. 2 tackles and a sack in 4 games as a freshman at Missouri this season. So you already saw him flash a little bit, but I get it. There are more proven options. But when you have a guy like this with the connections that you have on staff who already recruited, have a great relationship with this man, this young man, I should say, you have to pursue this. And I expect that LSU will at least pursue it. Will they land Nwaneri? I don't know. The guy just went into the transfer portal on Tuesday. We'll have to wait and see. But that is something you absolutely have to kick the tires on because of the upside and the relationships that you have with him on staff already. So that takes care of edge. Told you it was a lot. And that's 3 players to go through there. Now, another position that's in that must-get for LSU is tight end. We've talked an awful lot about Luke Hasz. We talked about Zach Atkins, who has an offer from LSU out there already. Luke Hasz is the second player of note that is scheduled for a visit in the coming days at LSU. Out of Arkansas, as I said, we've talked about him. Just finished his true sophomore season in Fayetteville, so has multiple years of eligibility left. Overall, in 17 games through those 2 seasons, 42 receptions, 577 yards, 7 touchdowns, a willing blocker as well. Again, you look at him, 6'3", 241. He's built in that Mason Taylor frame where it's just the ability to be the complete tight end. LSU should absolutely and will absolutely be a player here. Again, he's coming on to campus, but when you just look at Brian Kelly and the pedigree that he has at tight end, he and his program are going to be a player for top guys every time. That doesn't mean they're going to get the commitment, but they're going to be in it. They're going to be in it. So that's great news for LSU. Luke Hasz scheduling a visit in the coming days to be on campus with LSU. Check out the program and see if this is the place for him to continue his college career. And again, expect really stiff competition there because Hasz is one of the most coveted prospects in the transfer portal. And there's going to be a lot of SEC schools after him. As a matter of fact, Luke Hasz, per On 3, ranks as the number 3 overall tight end in the entire transfer portal. And along with LSU, he's locked in 2 other visits to SEC programs, one of which is to Alabama. The other tight end to keep an eye on is out of Oklahoma from the Sooners entering the transfer portal. That's Bauer Sharp. Bauer Sharp started his career at Southeastern in Hammond and now has entered the transfer portal. So, again, a little bit of a tie to Louisiana there. He then transferred over to Oklahoma, where he spent 1 season. The 2024 season now has entered the transfer portal. 6'4", 243 played in all 12 games in 2024 for the Sooners. Caught 42 balls for 324 yards and 2 touchdowns. I should say was highly productive at Southeastern as well. Another guy highly coveted has already planned a visit to Auburn here in the coming days. So, but somebody to keep your eye on as well if you're looking at LSU is Bauer Sharp from Oklahoma. Hey, it ended up being multiple tight ends there as well here in this conversation. Last but not least, we turn to the defensive backfield and we turn to safety. And this is the 3rd player that has set an upcoming visit in the coming days to LSU. It is Zechariah Poyser out of Jacksonville State. 6'2", 190-pound safety, redshirt freshman. So, again, multiple years of eligibility remaining. In fact, 3 years of eligibility remaining if you're looking at Poyser, and he has been awesome at Jacksonville State. This is a guy who played in 5 games as a true freshman, 4 in the regular season, 1 in the bowl game. Of course, the bowl game doesn't count towards eligibility, so he was able to redshirt in that season, had an interception as a true freshman, and then this season in 2024, as the redshirt freshman, played in all 13 games on a conference championship winning team in Jacksonville State, registered 75 total tackles, 3 more interceptions, 11 pass breakups, 2.5 tackles for loss. He recovered 2 fumbles. Like, he was all over the field. This is one hell of a player. On3 ranks him the 66th best player overall in the transfer portal. So you're looking at a top 100 guy here. And I know you could say, oh, Jacksonville State, guy played in Conference USA. Yeah, look at the measurables, look at the production, and look at the offer and visit list. So we told you he'll be on LSU's campus sometime this week. He also has upcoming visits to Auburn and Florida. This is a very coveted prospect who is very productive, and I've said it, LSU needs help at safety. You have to be better there. And I know Sage Ryan, Jordan Gilbert, they have a year each left that they can return if they choose. But if you can go out and get somebody who is a day one starter for you at safety, you absolutely do it. It was the weakest link on your defense. We talked about it all season. You were bad at safety. I don't mean to be so blunt. I know Ryan, Gilbert, those guys played hard. They try all those things. It's not meant to be a shot at those 2 players. If they choose to come back, they will have a role on LSU's team, and they should. But if you can go out and get a starting safety day one that makes your defense immediately better and helps you immediately become a contender nationally, you don't think twice about it. You actually do it. Could that be Zechariah Poyser? Very well could be. We'll have to wait and see. Again, he has the visit scheduled here in the coming days to be on campus with LSU. All right, that's kind of got you up to date when it comes to where things stand in the portal. Let's give one more check, just see if we didn't miss anything while we were recording here today. If anyone else jumped in for LSU, if any other target really emerged for LSU as well. I'm not seeing anything here as we wrap up the show. Oh, Lord. This just popped up. Doesn't directly tie into LSU, but definitely does indirectly. Former 5-star tight end Eric Gilbert has entered the transfer portal for the 4th time. Of course, started his career at LSU, went to Georgia, then Nebraska, now back into the transfer portal. That's just such a sad case, man. That has been a really tough thing to have to sit and watch throughout. I really hope Eric Gilbert's doing well and can finally reach the potential that young man has, because he is a freak athlete. It's just been it's been a tough road for him with everything in his personal life. So you wish him the best. Okay, let's see. Anything else that has come up? Not seeing anything else. I think we're up to date. So 13 players in the portal for LSU. Those are your targets as of now to really hone in on. 3 of them, Zechariah Poyser, Heldt and Luke Hasz, visiting LSU here this week. We'll keep you posted. Keep it locked here. Follow on social media. Get subscribed, share, and be here next time for more on LSU Daily.